What's up, y'all? I'm an addict named Austin. I got clean here at Serenity House in Abilene, Texas on October 19th, 2014. Let's read the just for today. April 8th, happiness. We come to know happiness, joy, and freedom. If someone stopped you on the street today and asked if you were happy, what would you say? Well, gee, let's see. I have a place to live, food in the refrigerator, a job, my car is running. Well, yes, I guess I'm happy, you might respond. These are outward examples of things that many of us have traditionally associated with happiness. We often forget, however, that happiness is a choice. No one can make us happy. Happiness is what we find in our involvement with Narcotics Anonymous. The happiness we derive from a life focused on service to the addict who still suffers is great indeed. When we place service to others instead of our own desires, we find that we take the focus off ourselves. As a result, we live a more contented, harmonious life. In being of service to others, we find our own needs more than fulfilled. Happiness, what is it really? We can think of happiness as contentment and satisfaction. Both of these states of mind seem to come to us when we least strive for them. As we live just for today, carrying the message to the addict who still suffers, we find contentment, happiness, and a deeply meaningful life. Just for today, I'm going to be happy. I will find my happiness by being of service to others. Y'all have heard me say this before. I'm very grateful for Narcotics Anonymous. This treatment center got me clean. I started working the program. I was able to mature, develop, get free from some things in my past, and move forward. There's a lot of work in that, and that doesn't always feel like happiness, right? And I can remember in working the 12th step, finding out that my purpose was to live the program of Narcotics Anonymous. And I'm no way, form, or fashion perfect. You can, you don't have to dig deep to find dirt on me, right? But because of the step working process, I realized that I have a purpose and that everything I had gone through could be for a reason if I choose to live out my purpose and live out the program, of Narcotics Anonymous. And so I'm super grateful. What I've found in this process is that even without using drugs, if I don't get up and do something for my recovery every day, I can be locked and loaded, obsessing and compulsing and completely self-centered without ever putting a substance in my body. I mean, there's symptoms of the disease. They're what we use to change the way we feel. The disease is what makes me feel the way I feel, right? That's centered in my thinking. And so I have to get up every day and do something for my recovery that sometimes looks like reading, prayer, meditation. Sometimes I put on some music to kind of help me just get, and so what I've learned is I can do those things, and there's days when I don't do it very long, and there's days when I spend a lot of time doing it. And what I realize is it doesn't matter how long I do those things, I always want more, right? Because I get relief. It helps me to get spiritually centered. It helps me get plugged into my higher power. And there's just freedom in that place, right? And so I realize that I guess I'm a real addict. I always want more, right? I can be doing something throughout my day. I work at a treatment center, so I'm blessed to be able to be of service to others. I can spend all day doing things for myself and still be wanting more and more and never feel this void that's unfillable, right? In my experience, whenever I engage with another person in recovery, or sometimes not even in recovery, when I engage with them and have a conversation with them, sometimes I get to do lectures down there during this lecture, when I'm actually engaged in helping others for that whole period of time, I forget about me and this unfillable void in my stomach. And after the experience, I look back and I'm like, I was happy for just a brief moment or a long moment. Sometimes I wasn't thinking about what I needed to do to arrest the disease of addiction, to recover, to do something for my recovery today. Like I was just had a moment of freedom, happiness, where I was able to plug in with somebody else and forget about all this that I need to feel, because there's just, and I haven't used any mind-changing, mood-altering substances in over 10 years, but sometimes I can still get locked and loaded, obsessing, compulsive on what I think is best for me or what I need or what I should be doing. And the disease of addiction can be running wild in my mind. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be of service to others. It talks about when we place service to others ahead of our own desires, we find that we take the focus off ourselves. And whenever I'm able to focus on others, man, there's freedom and happiness in that. And so I thank y'all for tuning in today. That's one of the reasons why I do these videos, because I just want to be free from the disease of addiction, and I want to help others, right? And I want to be engaged with others. So thank y'all for tuning in. we will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day.